It's a wonderful evening. The sun is going down in Northern California. You can hear we're near the airport, and you can hear the airplane. The children are playing in the hot tub, and this really is a wonderful night. But even in the midst of this night's wonderful wonder, children playing, a wonderful evening, a beautiful Delta breeze is coming through, cooling off the area. My heart still aches related to the senseless and horrific killings in Dallas, Texas. It's a little bit close to home because I served as Assistant Chief of Juvenile Probation for Dallas County, working with around 21, 22 police agencies. And Dallas Police Department was the main agency we worked with, where we got most of our referrals from. I worked with Chief David Brown, and he is just by far one of the finest law enforcement professionals. He's worked to make sure that there wasn't this great valley, this chasm between the public and the police. And then for 5 law enforcement officers to go to work, probably had plans to do something the next day or even something that evening, and they never came home. And families are now forever impacted. It was a horrific and senseless killing, just as well as the killing in Baton Rouge and the killing in Minnesota. And so, beloved, we cannot go eye for eye or tooth for tooth, and we certainly can't punish indiscriminately one law enforcement officer for the acts of others. Certainly there are times where you've been impacted by one person, and even in the challenges that we've had with police, and sometimes it seems as if all black men are painted with one brush. I certainly don't want to be painted with a broad brush. So I want to encourage you all to support wonderful officers around this country. I work with police chiefs and law enforcement agencies all across this country. Today we mourn the loss of those 5, and prayerfully we won't have any other loss of life, but a senseless shooting because anger pervades. And I shared with a young man, a great man of God today, and I talked about how, particularly for us as Christians, and there are many Christians on the force, our belief system is based on love, for God is love. You remember that scripture. And so I want to challenge law enforcement. I want to challenge those in the community. We've now got to operate from the modus operandi of love. When we begin to operate in love, I guarantee you this disconnect, this anger, this hate that seems to pervade our society today will begin to melt away. And so I know people are angry. I know people are hurt. I know people are very challenged emotionally and spiritually. But I want to encourage you to walk in love, for God is love. And so let's reflect Him. When we see a law enforcement officer, let's not paint that individual with a brush, a broad brush. Let's look at them through the eyes of love. And then law enforcement, when you see an individual who perhaps looks to you a certain way, will you then look at that person through the eyes and the heart of love? Beloved, if we love one another, we please God, for God is love. God bless you.